So in this tutorial, we will see how you can test your Flutter application. So we will see what is testing, what are the different categories, and how you can perform real testing as well. So let's start. And without further ado, I would like to show you an overview of testing. Okay. So if we see here, then what is testing? So testing is nothing but it's just a piece of code which actually we use to automatically validate some other piece of code. So what I mean over here is that you use a particular piece of code, you write that code which tests some other code, okay, or which validates some other code. So that is what testing is, because ideally you cannot manually test everything, right? So you need some automatic testing. So why testing is important, that might be your second question. So let's say if you get a simple counter application which you get when you start your Flutter project for the first time, you get a template for counter application. In that scenario, you might not need testing, okay, but as soon as you will start adding more features, it will become very hard to test all of the things manually. So then automated tests comes into the picture, and it will help you in having lesser bugs, and you can retain all the features, and everything works pretty good. So we'll talk about the categories now. So ideally in your Flutter application, you will see these three categories: unit test, widget test, integration test. There can be more categories, although like functional testing and all that, or even golden test, which we are not going to cover in this tutorial. But let's focus on unit test, widget test, integration test because this is gonna be the most crucial part of testing your Flutter application. Now, if we go into details, then unit test is what? Unit test is just testing a particular function, method, or a class, okay? Which means a very small piece of code which you want to test, or a function which you want to test. However, on the other hand, there is widget testing, which is to test UI, okay, or a component. And for example, you get the counter application, you have a button over there, which when you click on it, it increases the counter. So if we have to, test that button, if it is the tapping is working and the behavior is the same, then we will use widget testing. On the other hand, we have integration testing as well, which means to test a particular flow itself, or it can be a complete application obviously, or it can be a part of your application, a large part I would say. So integration testing is like combining many things and doing the testing, like creating a flow. Now let's also see this test table, which I say CMDE. CMDE is basically confidence, C for confidence, M for maintenance, D for dependency, E for execution speed. So you'll see that unit is always like on the lower side and integration on the higher side. So for example, if you see confidence means that how much you can rely on this particular test. So for unit, the reliability is low. Widget, it is higher, and integration, it is the highest. Maintenance cost on the other hand, low, higher, highest, same thing. Dependencies are also very few in unit testing. In widget, there can be more dependencies, and integration, there will be a lot of dependencies. Execution speed, it depends that what exactly you are testing. For unit, it will be very fast obviously. For widget, it will be very fast. And integration, ideally it is slow, and let's say if you are completely testing the entire application, then it can be even more slower. So yes, this is how it works. Now you might be wondering, okay Pawan, tell me what test and when I should use them, and like in what ratio I should use them. So I would say here, this is my opinion, that you should follow test pyramid, which is ideally like, if you see here on the top, you see there's a narrow there's a narrow gap, and that's where widget test fits. In the middle there is integration test, and in the bottom there is unit test, which is more stretched. So what I mean here is that you should do as much as unit test which you can do, because unit test is easy to perform. It can cover a lot of things as a different methods itself. Integration test is something which you should give the second priority, which is like if you can test a particular flow a lot, and then at the end you can give the third priority to widget test, which can be lesser than integration and unit test. Why? Because these days, like most of the time, you can check your smartphone, you can see the UI and everything. So I mean, you should definitely do it, but yes, unit test is what you should more focus on, then integration, and then widget testing. So that's more or less about this particular presentation, which was just quick introduction. Now we will move to code. So now you can see I have already set a project here, which is nothing, but you don't have to focus on that as of now. Let's go to pubspec.yaml, and I'm talking about the Flutter application here. If you are using a Dart project, then also it's fine. There's not going to be much things over here. So if we go to dev dependencies, then you will see we have something called flutter underscore test, okay, which is required to do testing over here. Now we could have this test if it was just a Dart dependency, and you can just use any version with whatever you want, whatever is the latest, let's say. So either of them will work. So right now here I will go with Flutter test because it's a Flutter application. So this is what is required at the pubspec.yaml. Now when you have to test, then you have to make sure. So if you are making like if you're using the regular template, then you will get this test folder. Otherwise, ideally you should create this test folder, although the name can be different as well, but I would suggest you to have a test folder, and here you will write all your test cases or whatever you want to do with testing. Right now you can see there's a file called calculator.art. It is like a very common example, so that's why I'm using it, calculator, which has 4 different methods: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, which will go into details. Ideally, I would say that this particular file should not be inside your test folder, which is very true. But right now, just for the sake of simplicity, I am doing it here. Ideally, it should be somewhere inside your lib folder. So never mind. Let's not get into this, but rather let's talk about testing more. So let's say if I have to write testing or some test cases for this calculator class, okay, how I will do it. And then also I have to make sure that I'll also cover the real scenarios as well. So please pay attention to this much, this particular thing as much as you can, because this is more important. Then only you will understand the real scenarios. Okay, now let's go inside it and create a file called let's go here and let's say calculator underscore test dot dart. Okay, now one thing to pay attention over here is that this underscore test is really important. This is how, when you write a command flutter test or something like that, this is how your Flutter framework will understand that, okay, you are talking about these files where you have underscore test, which means these are the test files, and it will test all those files. So that's why this is really important, and you have to apply underscore test with everything. So now we have calculator test dot dart. The first thing which we are going to do is we will import Flutter test over here, or the test if you are not using a Flutter project, so you can just use test. So we imported that, and it also starts with void main. So it's the entry point as your Flutter application. And now here what we can do, we can use something called test. Okay, so test is basically, if you'll see here, it's a method which we can use, and we can, if you're using Flutter snippets in VS Code, then you can also get this snippet, which is very good. Like, it gives you a place to put your description, then it gives you a callback to perform your testing. So here I can say that, okay, what I want to test, let's say for example I want to test the addition of my calculator. So I will say I want to test addition. Okay, for example, like it can be anything, but you can do whatever you want to do. So there will be some steps. So first step will be to get access to that class, okay, or the instance of that class. So I can say, let's say the name of the class is calculator, the name of the instance is calc, for example, and I can say something like this, calculator. Okay, this looks good. I will import calculator over here, and this is my step 1. Now the second step would be what exactly you want to test. So as I told in the description that I want to test addition, so I can have, let's say, a variable called int result, and I would use this instance to call a method called add addition for addition, and I can give some values, let's say 3 and 2, and yeah, this is how it will end. And now I'm expecting some result over here. If I go inside addition, then you'll see it is nothing but just addition of 2 numbers which I'm giving, which as a program it is very simple, but there can be complex programs as well, which I'm just assuming. So this is the step 2, I would say. And the final step is basically what you expect from this program now. Because see, if you feel that this is gonna fail, that is also a success of this test, because you know it is gonna fail. So when what you are expecting, if it is meeting that criteria, then it's a successful test case. So expect is actually expect in Flutter, which is if you have used Swift, it is xc assert equal or something like that. So expect is actually expect. Here you have to give two different values, like one is what is the actual which you are getting and what you are matching it with. So actual will be my result, and what I want to match, let's say if I add 3 and 2, what should be the output? It should be 5, right? And that's what we have to test. Now you might be saying, okay, this is a very stupid test case because I know that 3 2 is always 5. And see, this is where the problem exists. Testing is not difficult, but this mindset is what is the problem, because I know that you know that 3 2 is 5. And that's why we need testing, because you know, but you don't know whether your program knows this thing or not. So you wrote some logic, which is here in this particular example, it is very common logic, but how you will make sure that whatever logic you are writing is actually correct. So if you have seen any like these coding I would say this coding like Leet Code and all these websites, here you will see that it gives you a problem, you try to solve it, and they run some test cases to check that okay, whatever we are expecting, are we getting it or not. So that's where testing plays an important role, because 3 2 is 5, I know, but if whatever program I have written is actually returning me this or not, this is what we have to test. Now we are done with this part, and now what we can do, we can click on this run method over here or on the top on the main for if you want to test the entire thing. But let's say I just want to test this, I want to test addition. So I'll click on this run method, and you can see I have this test thing opened, testing, and it is running the test. Let's see. And yes, see, the test is passed. I want to test addition, 51 milliseconds it took, and this is passed. Now you might be wondering how I can run this thing using my terminal, right? So in terminal, you can say one thing can be Flutter test, which will actually run all the test cases, like all the test files. So right now we have only one, which is ending with underscore test, like calculator underscore test. So it will run only one. So you can see it took 7 seconds plus 1, which means one test, all tests passed, which is fine. Let's say if you just want to test this calculator file, okay, how you will test that? Then you can just say Flutter test. Then you will give the name of the folder, which is test again, and then the name of the files after slash. So calculator underscore test dot dot. So now if I do that, it should take a little bit lesser time than what we got on the top. So I'm just saying 6 seconds, let's say. Oh yes, exactly 6 seconds it took. And you can see +1 and all tests passed. So basically this is how you can use your terminal to do all these things. Sometimes it's good to use terminal. I will tell you why after some time. So yeah, this is how you write a test case, right? But when I'm saying that 3 2 is 5 and it is giving me 5, it is fine. But what I also would like to test is 3 plus 3, and if I give it a, let's say, another value. So we are done with this, but what if I give it another value 3 3? Then it should not be 5, it should be 6, right? Or I would say that 3 and 2 addition is 5. Let's say for everything it is returning 5, then also it's a problem, right? So we can like write as many expectation as we want. For example, I want to know that 3 plus 2 is 5, but it should not be 6, right? How I can do that? So I can say expect. So the result is result matcher this time. I am saying that it should not be 6, okay? Or it should not be a particular number. Let's say 3 to addition of these should not be 10, okay? So if let's say that's what I want to do, then I have to use a matcher. So matcher, there is one matcher called is not, which can be very like useful. So it's a matcher as you can see here. So is not is basically test to test. Let's say it should not be 10. And now if I run this particular test case, then we will see that, okay, everything is passing or not. And we are basically having two expectation. One is that it should be 5, and second one is it should not be 10, and it is passed. So as you can see, this is how you write a normal test. So Now let's try to write another test which can be or for example for multiplication. So I will say for multiplication, and we'll just say change some values. So we have the instance over here, which is fine. Rather than addition, we will say multiplication. This time 3 into 2 should be 6, but it should not be 9, for example. I mean, this is like you can write anything over here. Now let's run this particular test and let's see what happens. And again, you can use terminal if you want, and we will see some real case scenarios as well in a while. So you can see I want to test multiplication is done, and it took 61 milliseconds, which is fair enough because multiplication is a little bit like more complex than addition, so it can take a little bit more time. So you can see how much time it is taking, and let's say if you have to do modulo or division, then also it will be more than addition or subtraction, right? The time taken is obviously it has a different complexity, so that's why. Okay, now this is good. Everything is working fine. You might ask me like, what if I want to run both of these test cases, okay, or a particular group of tests? So there is something called group. Okay, so you can on the top, let's say I can say group, although you can directly run main here in this particular scenario. But let's say if you have some set of tests which you have to run all together, then you can use something called group. Here you can give a description as usual. So I can say I want to test my calculator. Okay, so this means every calculator test will be here, and then in these braces I can move this test and all. So let's move all of these from here to here, and now we got the same run and debug on the top as well. So let's do it this time. Let's run the group test, and we will see that everything works fine. Yes, so you can see on the top we have I want to test my calculator, which is 2 of 2. Okay, so which means we had 2 test cases, and yes, you can see it took 55 milliseconds, and second one this time should like just took 7 milliseconds, which is expected thing. Now there is one more thing which I want to tell you. There are like, if you see these 2 test cases, okay, what we are doing is we are using calculator instance again and again, but it's actually not needed, right? So there are different methods which we get. Like right now we can also use it in main method, but what if there's no access to main, or we are in different file, or let's say that we don't want to instantiate on the top. So there are some methods which I want to talk about here. So first method is setup all. So setup all is like a method which actually runs only once, okay, before all of your tests. So setup all, which runs before all of your tests. Setup is a particular method which run before some test or a particular test, okay. So setup all will make sure that it will run before all tests, and setup is basically one level up, that it is just for one particular test or something like that, right? Similarly, you have tear down all. So tear down is like after a particular test, it will run tear down, and tear down all, which means after all tests. Okay, so you can read the description and what is the difference, and it will give you all the idea. So what I can do here, I can use a setup all, and inside that, I can do something like instantiating a calculator or doing something like that. So I can just say calculator C, for example, calc, or I would say, right? And this instantiation I can do here in the setup, in fact, and I can remove it now. So this is step 1 is actually removed from here, and this looks fine to me. Step 2, and where we can just say step 1 here, and this is still able to understand what is calc. Let's remove it from here as well, and now let's try to run this again and let's see what happens. So ideally it should work pretty good, and you will see all the test. Okay, done. So you can see like it is passed. Okay, so this is fine. Similarly, let's test tear down as well. So on the bottom, let's say we can say tear down all. Now here there is like a like a very good thing which you'll see why I said that terminal can be good. Let's try to print here something. Okay, let's say we are done, good job. So let's end this thing and let's see how it worked. So now let's try to run this test again. Let's run this group test and let's see what happens. And you will see that all of our test cases will pass. But yeah, so it is passed as you can see, but we didn't get this we are done good job thing. And even if so, yeah, even if we go to debug console, then only we can see that we are done good job, because it will print in the debug. But ideally, like it's like a little bit time taking, and you have to check here. So in this case I would suggest that running terminal is like really good. I mean, it's again a choice, like personal choice, but I would be always in the favor of using terminal, which is more faster, I would say, sometimes, not like then just running this particular program or button. So now if you'll see, we will see directly over here that see all tests passed, and before that we saw, like, we know when it is executed. So there was two methods, that tear down all, printing we are done good job. So this gives me better understanding rather than this one, which is I like I mean it's fine if you know both of them, but yeah, I mean this is what I would suggest to go for. Okay, so this is ideally how we write unit tests in Flutter, and we will see more in a very quick time.